window, set some tables, whatever, and sit down, go to sleep, do it all over again. Like, is that really a dream? If that's a dream, that's great. Some people will love to just relax. Some people will love to stay busy. It just depends on if it's making a fulfillment, if it's beneficial to you. Is it allowing you to bless others at the end of the day? I mean, you don't want to go against the grain. So I'm live in the chat room. You can jump in at any time here. Welcome everybody. If you're new, this is season 1. Season 4 ended last month as of September 28th, I think. But you can check the playlist so you could be sure for all of those. I thought you said this, but you didn't say that stuff. So, anyway, then we got lightning strike. We also need to fully bring our voice of courage into everything we do. It needs to become our dominant voice. So, how you not let others underestimate you? You got to go against the grain. You got to pursue your dreams. 10%, be that 10% that's not in mediocrity and is not basing their life on suggestions of the many, because it causes confusion. I don't think real blessings are confusion. I think it's just another peephole, another trap, another booby trap, trying to stop you from really accomplishing what you're here put on this planet to do. That's what I mean by pursuing dreams. Not just doing something because you want to take up time, but really in the next 5 years, if you could design your life, what would it look like? That kind of stuff. Like, if you could design your life yourself in the next 5 years, what would it look like? That's what I'm called to do, to ask that question and put a system together that completes that course. Execute the mission. But it's all about journey. So what journey are you going on to pursue that? Whatever it is, it could be entertainment, food, hospitality, police officer, judge, lawyer, the next musician, the next model, whatever that career is, the next hairstylist, makeup artist, fashion designers. We got computer technology people. We got a lot of talent out here. And we need to pursue that. We need to get into that. And, by me being curious about radio all my life, and I was able to just get on and just do my thing and really turn this into something, is really like an example of pursuing your dreams right now. It may or may not work for you, but I'm just making a suggestion. It has worked for me. But, like I said, I'm live in the chat room right now. I did take a look at an article. And, oh, by the way, those 3 keys that I was just elaborating on was from Dan Hawkins. That book is amazing. It's like, you do wonder about that. How many people on their way to success turn backwards instead of forward. Like, you get frustrated, life happens, and you tend to just not pursue it. Like, it's like you make it harder than what it is. If this is what you really, really want, just go for it. Just step out there. Everything gonna be hard. I know for me, now that I'm an entrepreneur, independent, I learned that, hey, I just knew that I shouldn't have been working for someone else because I didn't want to. You got to enjoy your job. I mean, if I don't enjoy it, I won't do it. I don't care how much it pays. That's just how serious I am about stuff like that. So, the first one I looked up was how to deal with people who underestimate you. Because dealing with people is very, very crucial to this kind of thing. Because all how you think about it. That's why, y'all need to check out Excuse Societies, because Excuse Societies talks about the actual thinking that leads a person into certain situations. But let me ask you this from WIKI how.com. Do you know how to react when someone underestimates you? Does it make you feel unappreciated or inferior? If you have difficulty knowing what to say and do in these situations, there are steps you can take to become more efficient and assertive at responding to this kind of criticism. Learn how to talk to people who underestimate you, prove them wrong, and understand what's going on when it happens. Talking to people who underestimate you. Number one is be assertive. Assertive communication will help you express yourself clearly and maintain self-respect. It can help you feel more positive about yourself and your abilities also. Number two, ask why. Although you shouldn't always listen to people who underestimate you, it may be useful to hear them out when it comes to their criticisms. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this. Practice deep breathing. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling, so your stomach expands while your chest stays in place. Number 4, show through your actions. One of the best ways to counteract critics who underestimate you is for them to see you succeed at one thing they're underestimating you on. And that is very true. I'll just elaborate on that a little bit. I was working, and it was a project that I was put up to the task to lead, and I was doubted by the little comments that was made. And I didn't know at the time I shouldn't have tried to defend myself. I should have just let them say whatever they wanted to say and would have been like, okay, I appreciate what you said. Have a good day. And just left it alone. But I had to say something. And that's something I'm working on. Not to respond all the time to what people say. Especially when it's not true. And if you really know that it doesn't pertain to you. So I kept working on it. And I kept working on it. Making a long story short. And it had a turnout. It wasn't timely. It didn't have a time frame, but I did, complete the mission. And they saw it, and then they, I know they had their critique, which they didn't mention, but, 90% of our communication is body language. So you could tell by the look and the stance of somebody standing and how their posture is. You could pretty much tell if they're really feeling what you got to say or not. But when I showed up and the project showed out, there was really nothing more for a person to criticize because the job was done. So that works. And this is the best way to me. So I do agree with number 4, show through your actions. It's pretty much, if you cool, it's pretty much going to go well because you cool. Because sometimes people just tend to test you to see how far they can push you. And everybody should know what pushes your buttons right away. Have a discussion, sit down like, I disagree with that. I felt like you should have handled it this way or that way. And then try to come to some common ground. But we are so quick because we from the streets and we a little rough around the edges that we got to defend ourselves. And we really don't have to. It's ways to keep our blood pressure down. And we cool and positive at all times because we never know what blessings we miss because we so caught up in being tough, we can't see what's really going on. So, I just want to point that out. Number 5, avoid responding to rudeness. If someone is really harsh and underestimating you, avoid giving her the satisfaction of a reaction. For example, if someone tells you that you'll never amount to anything, I don't know who I'm talking to, simply ignore the comment or walk away. There's nothing to be gained from engaging with people who say this kind of thing. You can prove her wrong with your actions, but you don't need to talk to her about it. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I could ever make, sitting up here trying to explain myself. You know, when you grown, you ain't got to explain yourself. Just do what you need to do. Ain't no sense of talking about it. It ain't working. I'm gone. Poof. That's just it. You can't afford, life is too precious, too short for you to be hanging around, arguing, trying to prove your point to a toxic person, relationship, situation, whatever it is. If it's toxic, move around. Because that's signs of being toxic. And then, focus on your goals. Keep your goals reasonable. Work hard on areas of challenge. Recognize and review self-negative talk. Because sometimes you could be talking to you on a negative note, and then your day turn out negative because you was talking negative to yourself. And everybody talks to themselves, and they ain't got to be crazy because they talk to themselves. I don't like when people say that. Like, you talk to yourself, you must be crazy. No, I need to listen to my courage. That's what I need to do. So remain committed. Understand what being underestimated and criticized can do to you. Ask yourself why someone will underestimate you. Go easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Avoid drawing conclusions too quickly. And don't expect perfection for yourself. Pretty much. It's really a simple case of self-confidence. It's all about a positive mental attitude and how you feel about yourself and how far you want to go with that, especially when there's a lot of drama going on and you're overwhelmed and you got things to do. Excuse the texting, but somebody, is trying to get on. I'm going to send them the show, just look up on the wall, dude, and you'll get it. Yeah, so really, it's just about worrying about what other people think about you. And worrying about what everybody got to say. And it really don't mean much if it's toxic. It's just trying to stop you. It's a loophole. It's trying to get you all wrapped up. And you got to say to yourself what you gonna do and how positive you're gonna remain when you do what you gotta do. And get rid of the anger, because I know I made a lot of mistakes making real important decisions when I was angry. So, sleep on it. Don't rant and rave too long. Like I said, time is so precious. And who got time for all that drama? But every great person with a great mind got underestimated. It is what it is. Excuse me, y'all. Just making sure this texting stops real quick. So yeah. Basically, if you're gonna be great, and if you can handle the criticism and don't give up, you ready for success. You're really ready for success. And I'm gonna see if I find the secret to success, y'all, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Wait till it pull up. Oh, it won't let me do it. Come on. It's silly how my stuff works sometimes. Wait, what was that? Okay. Claude Hamilton explaining how they don't deserve the success they have any more than we do. They just made tough decisions and stuck to them. That's awesome.